Now that our students and we are off and running with Chat-GPT and AI faster than we ever could have predicted, the question becomes, how can we support its use so that it's a tool for intellectual growth and not a crutch that bypasses intellectual growth? And how can we do so in a way that doesn't hijack our curricular objectives? Well, I've been playing with that, and here's one way that I found that worked very well that I think can be adapted to the study of a lot of different units in the English language arts classroom. And that was during my study with my grade 10 students of the text Othello. I wanted to give some students, particularly the accelerated students, a chance to engage with some themes and some motifs we wouldn't have a chance to get to in class, but which were not central and crucial to our understanding of the text. And I wanted it to also provide a quick and easy way for my students to engage with Chat-GPT. So that they might carry it forward and see the possibilities and limitations of it, and that I could assess that they were seeing those. So I came up with these 3 prompts, all of them being more minor themes or motifs in the text, and students would choose from one and use this on this assignment. My objectives were here for the studying of Othello. It kept introducing motifs and themes, and also this assignment, because they weren't having to search through the text, let them have their time, that time to do some higher level thinking. And in addition, it is meeting these objectives of Chat-GPT, learning how to use it, making sure they cite it, some higher level thinking skills in terms of judging it, and as well as just an activity of discovery. So the first instruction, I provided some explicit cues for query composition, as well as some specific language they can use inside of a query to control the responses of ChatGPT. And I provided them with an explicit exemplar of how they might word a query in ChatGPT. So very quickly, they're off and running. Then I told them that for each response given, they needed to evaluate whether they agreed or not and why. So right there, I'm getting at the central curricular goals of comprehension, analysis, and evaluation, as well as giving them an opportunity to really grapple with Shakespeare's language. In addition, of course, I'm pointing out the necessity to cite the use of ChatGPT, and they're becoming familiar with how to do so. So they're often running really fast. They took their responses, pasted them into a Google Doc for me, and then after each response, they had to state whether they agreed or did not agree with the response given to them and why. And if you look through the responses, I was very pleased to see some pretty high level evaluation. In the first example, the student agrees with one aspect of the response, but not with the other, and gives their reason. And in the second one, they state that they agree, and they're even showing understanding of the character traits of Othello. So I'm seeing some good analysis and some good evaluation and the ability to express that. Here's another response from a student, which I really loved because of how vehement it is in stating that the Chat-GPT did a terrible job. And again, they are showing analysis of the character and what his character traits are. So I'm seeing a lot of evidence that they're meeting our curricular goals, as well as meeting my goal of judging Chat-GPT and its limitations. Finally, in this third example, a student pasted their answer and their citation. However, I was able to see that they have a misinterpretation. They talked about Othello being Turkish, not a Moor. And so I saw there's a misconception or a lack of understanding of the difference. And it helped me to identify a teaching point for my entire class to ensure that they did not have that misconception. So in conclusion, this was a really quick way to engage With Chat-GPT, it was really authentic because it's something that they can use in their assignments or preparing for studying. Yet it remained focused on the curricular goal. The goal, with that being evaluation, kept them coming back to the text and thinking about the text. And it was a great formative assessment because it very explicitly it revealed to me all of my students' thinking, as well as allowed me to identify and do some reteaching in some areas that were misconceptions for my students. So I hope that other people out there can adapt this activity and will share what you do as well with the world of teachers out there, um, creatively coming up with ways to use ChatGPT to help our students use their time in a way that maximizes their growth and learning.